All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content, we'll talk about BTC. We'll take a look at BTC on a higher time frame and all that good stuff, and what type of price action we could anticipate over the next like a few, few weeks or even like a few months, right? So let me know if the sound is good, because it seems like the streaming is tripping up, right? So let me make sure everything is good, right? All right, let's do this. All right, let me make sure the sound is good, okay? Okay, the sound is good, guys. Let me know, because it seems like it is tripping a bit. All right, Pablo S Crypto never sleeps says the sound is good, okay? So now let's go ahead and dive into the analysis, right? So we're going to start off with the monthly and 3 weeks time frame. So most of you guys are already familiar with the monthly time frame. We've been talking about the BTC monthly 21 EMA over the last few months, right? So as you can see right now, bulls, they've been acting very strong at the 21 EMA on a monthly basis, right? So you can see like we've been making like high lows right there. I don't like these high lows, but I just have to point it out, right? Because high lows doesn't necessarily mean like a market will be reversing, and most people, whenever they see high lows, they just suck it up and go long, right? And it could be a fake out, and they get in trouble in the next like a few days after that, right? So pretty good support at the monthly 21 EMA. Started the downtrend since like November. So since November, it is almost like over 4 months. Okay, you got December, January, February, and March. Over 120 days, BTC been in a downtrend, and finally, since like right here, the first month of the year, of course, January, we started to create some high lows, right? So what we need to see for any possible reversal, okay, it is going to be our volume, okay? The volume going to be pretty critical over the next like a few weeks or even like a month. The reason why I'm saying even it could take a while for the volume to show up is like, if you take a look at it right here, the decreasing volume started since March 2021, right? So, and right now it is March 2022. So 12 months of sideways correction, and bulls and bears been getting wrecked up and down, left and right, and all that good stuff. You can see like the volume been decreasing right there, okay, when price action is what, just moving sideways. Okay, price action is just moving sideways between give or take 65-69k all the way down to on average 30k area, right? So what we could anticipate over the next like a few months, I've been saying it over the last few months also, right? We will get a big volume, okay? So if you're new to our content, I'm just gonna have to repeat it, right? So I know it will sound boring for some of you guys because you already know what to look for, but we will get a big volume right here, right? However, the size of the volume, let me do this. All right, hey, what's up, Quiet Cook? Thanks a lot for tuning in. We got Beast 2, thanks a lot for tuning in. Mason Moonboy in the house, thanks a lot for tuning in. So let's do this. For some reason my computer is freezing, right? Let's just use a neutral volume so bears won't get excited and bulls won't get too excited neither, right? So the volume we could expect over the next like a few weeks, it is going to be pretty big in terms of magnitude. Okay, I'm expecting like over the next like a few months, right, the next trading volume going to make this range so small, right, you're not even going to be able to see it, just like what happened right here. Okay, so the volume back then right there was pretty big, right, but take a look at it right now, you can't even see it because the magnitude of the previous bull run. So the next bull market, okay, going to make the range right here so small, but the magnitude of the initial volume right here, we don't care. Okay, we don't care if the volume going to be green or if the volume going to be red. All we want to see is like a big change in the momentum. Okay, a big change in the volume. Okay, right there we picked somewhere around like 260 billion, right, back in March. We want to see somewhere around like 500 billion. Okay, so that's going to be pretty big. It means like we could double the volume we had on Bybit, right, back in March 2021. So be ready for that, right? Be ready for that. It is critical because we don't know, okay, if BTC will basically just break out, right, and break the 69k, right, and pushes to the upside all the way up to 100k and all that good stuff, or if BTC going to dump pretty fast, right, all the way down to the monthly 50 EMA or even like a monthly 50 EMA, depending on the volatility, and basically pick right back up. Okay, either way you want to look at it, it will be, you will get a big volume. It doesn't matter, on the direction. Okay, so something to keep in mind. So you don't want to be shorting it if it breaks out, and you don't want to be shorting it if it breaks down too. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So you just want to be buying the dips if we dump down to the monthly 50 EMA, right? So we're done with the volume. We know exactly what to expect regarding the volume, whether whether you are bullish or bearish. You know exactly what to do for your homework, right? So now let's take a look at BTC on a 3 weeks basis, right? So on a 3 weeks basis, as we've been saying, since May 2021, right, we've been saying like, okay, we're not breaking out below our 3 weeks 21 EMA right here, right? So it is a bullish sign, right? However, if we take a look at it right now, right, we're not breaking out above our 3 weeks 21 EMA neither. So what can we say? We could say, hey, it is not what? A strong bullish sign. Why it is not a strong bullish sign? It is because back in May, June, July 2021, we were bullish. Okay, the reason we were bullish when most people were looking for 25 and lower, the reason for that was like the 21 EMA was supporting the price. Right now, the 21 EMA is rejecting the price, right? So we got to get a clean close above the 21 EMA, and at the same time we got to get our MACD right here on the 3 weeks basis to give us a stronger confidence level we're going to be continuing the uptrend. Okay, and remember what we just said regarding the monthly cycle, right? We said if we're going to be pushing to the upside, it is not going to be a weak breakout. It has to be what? A strong breakout in terms of volume. So if we go back to the 3 weeks time frame, if we break out to the upside, right, get the MACD to a flip positive, right, we will be saying, okay, it is time to basically wreck the bears and stay with the with the macro reversal trend and go to the moon and all that good stuff, right? So once again, we got to get the MACD right here to a flip positive over the next like a few weeks. Remember, it is a 3 week cycle, so it takes like 3 weeks for one candle to close, right? Just like the weekly cycle, right? It takes 7 days for the weekly cycle to close, right? So now, before we talk about the weekly time frame, let's go ahead and take a look at I need to start stacking more sats, says Sky Medium. He's waiting for 28 to 33. Good to know, Mr. Sky Moon. For some reason, my computer is freezing, man. All right. All right. So if we take a look at the gold BTC chart, it is quite interesting at this, it is bullish and bearish at the same time on a 3 weeks basis, right? So most of you guys know I like these double top, double bottom, double tops, double top, double bottom, depending on how you want to look at it, right? So we got a pretty nice, continuation pattern. Okay, what I mean about a continuation pattern, you see, like we got the pullback, right? We got the impulsive move, got the pullback to the upside, retested the bottom, right? And now retesting the top. So technically, okay, it is a bearish pattern, okay? In terms of like a reversal, we could be looking for what? A continuation to the downside. We already talked about it, right? So we just need BTC, right, to a breakout against gold, and we could be looking for either a retest of the bottom right here, somewhere around like a 0.03%, okay? Actually 3%, 0.03 right there, all right? So keep that in mind. If we take a look at a BTC gold, if we take a look at the BTC gold chart, we did have a nice engulfing candle at the bottom. We talked about the engulfing candle right here, okay? So, and what we were saying was, like, whenever we get these engulfing candles, right, we tend to see a strong downtrend afterward. What I mean by a downtrend, it means like a potential even capitulation. But as of now, right after the candle, dumped to the downside, you can see, like, right now we're pushing back up. All right, so let's see versus gold, if BTC going to be breaking out above like a 23 ratio, 23. Right now we at 22, right? So we at 22. So up to 20, 23, 24, I would say even 24, right? Right there, 24 going to be the ultimate resistance versus gold. Okay, if we can break out above it, it means that we will be closing above the 3 weeks 21 EMA against gold, and possibly against the dollar, right? Depending on how gold will behave and all that good stuff, right? But it is a beautiful pattern, guys. It is a double top, double bottom. Most of the time, guys, what we look for, it is like a continuation, but we got to get the volume right to basically convince us like we're going to be pushing higher. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a 7-day cycle. Hey, what's up, Mr. Shu? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Tails in the house. David, what's up, man? Cannibal Wealth in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I think I'm streaming at 4K. Maybe that's why my my computer is messing up. I was like, let me just try to stream at 4K. So but it shouldn't be doing all this stupid stuff, right? So I think we just got a small breakout, because I see alt are pumping like sand right now. 322, engine 150 and all that good stuff. FTM 131, good job. So near 11.5, 11.4 actually. let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a lower degree, because most of you guys only care about BTC pumping 1% and dumping 0.5%. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a weekly basis. So it is quite important, guys, to keep an eye on, okay? Keep an eye on the 43.5 up to a 46. We talked about 43.5 up to a 46 range. We've been saying it like since like December, okay? If you recall, back in December, the double top double bottom we had right here, what we were saying was like in the future, okay, it will give us a tough problem. It is going to be a temporary support. So if we retest our weekly 100 EMA and push back up, it is going to give us a tough problem. So you can see like since like actually January, okay, we cannot break out above like the 45k area. So 45k, not just on the weekly, but at the same time on a monthly basis, it is a strong resistance right there. That's our monthly yearly open, actually, okay? Our yearly open, right? Resistance starts at 46k, okay? It doesn't start at 46, it starts somewhere around like a 45, right? 43 range, give or take. But the top range, it is all the way up to a 46, right? But our yearly high, it is at 48. So but I would say like mid-range, starting at 43.5, just have to be cautious, right? Until we break out above 46, and you could be saying like, okay, it is time to go to the moon, right? Based on the weekly basis also, right? Both on the monthly and weekly, they sharing the same resistance. We did not talk about the quarterly resistance, but as you can see right here, I'm saying like, I've been saying like the quarterly open was at 46.2, right? So it is going to be hard for the bulls to close above 46. Okay, something to keep in mind. It looks pretty good right now. The pump looks pretty good, but you don't want to be like buying BTC, expecting like 100k when you're buying at 43, 44, 45. Okay, because it can definitely pull back later on. Okay, and we will take a look at the lower degree, right? But if we break out above 46, we know our secondary resistance going to be at 52, right? If we take a look at it on a 3D basis, so if we take a look at it on a 3 weeks basis, right, our all-time high is all the way up to 69k, right? And guys, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. So I just needed to shift the resolution. Instead of the 4K, I just suck it up and put it back to whatever it was, right? So because the computer was just slowing down, right? So right now, as you can see right here on a 3D basis, right? Now, it doesn't have to be the 3D basis, but in terms of Fibonacci, right? If we do a swing high down to a swing low, right here, you can see like 52k, right? It is at 0.618. We talked about it last week. So, but I'm not sure as of now if bulls going to be strong enough to get to 52. That's why I'm saying on the higher time frame, we still have to break out above like a 46. If we get to take out 46k area, we could look for a move all the way up to a 52. Okay, it is going to be a nice in terms of percentage, right? It is going to be a nice 14 to 15% or even 16%, depending on the volatility. But once again, I want to see bulls taking out a 46k area, right, and even retest it probably on a lower degree, let's say on a 6-hour to 1 EMA and all that good stuff, and we could be looking for an entry all the way up to a 52, right? But as of now, alt, they looking good, they more convincing. Some of these alt, they breaking out like massively to the upside. They could, you know, push like for another 15 to 20% depending on which altar you're looking at. But BTC could just, you know, be moving slow over the next like a few days if it doesn't break out above you know, 45, 46, right? So just be cautious in this range. And at the same time, that's the first candle. Okay, this candle did not even open above the 3D 21. If you recall back in December right here, what we said was like, if we open and close a candle below the 3D 21 EMA, right, the trend going to be what? Down, right? So think about it, guys. Since when? Since like November 12, right? That's the last time BTC opened and closed a candle above the 3D 21 EMA. So that's one of the reasons we were actually very bearish on BTC, you know, after we dumped below the 3D 21 EMA. You guys recall our, you know, setup at 52. We said we're going to be dumping down to our weekly 100 EMA. The white line you're looking at right now, it is the 200 EMA, right? It is actually the 200 MA on the 3D, but it is the same thing as your weekly 100, you know, weekly 100 EMA. So I don't necessarily need to talk about it all the time. That's the same moving average. It moves faster, but you know, it is going to be supporting the price on the 3D if you want to pay attention to it. But I just don't want to be you know, adding too many moving averages to my chart. It was just there randomly. Right, I use it when I'm looking at the weekly 200 MA. So pay attention to BTC, right? If we break out above 46, we got a pretty good chance to you know, try to retest like a 52. Okay, so so now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC in terms of MACD. In terms of MACD, you know, the reason why, you know, I've been very cautious, even though I was saying like we can still retest, I'm still saying it, we can still retest 30K and lower, is like, as long as our MACD right here, it is pointing up, right, the chance of getting a strong dump going to be very low. It could be a low downtrend move until we get the MACD to cross negative, and then we could get a very impulsive move, because a bullish MACD most of the time will prevent, you know, high volatility to the downside. Okay, especially when MACD is in this range. Okay, and you're basically pushing higher, you know, it is going to prevent any you know, fast dump to the downside and all that good stuff. So that's why every dump in this range been getting bought up very quickly. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a 7 day cycle. If we take a look at BTC on a 7 day cycle, you can see like over the last few weeks, nearly like 4 straight, not nearly, but 4 straight weeks, you know, on a 7 days basis, BTC been getting rejected at 45, 46K area right there. Okay, give or take. So let's see, we just opened the cycle yesterday. It will close on Friday again, right? I mean, it will open on Friday. So cycle closes on Thursday and open on actually, you know, closes on Friday and open on Saturday actually, right? So it will close on next Friday. So let's say if bulls could try to push above you know, the 44K, which is just about the 21 EMA on a weekly basis, right? So MACD, it is still trying to cross bullish on a 7 day cycle, but it is not quite yet bullish, right? So we will see if we get a bullish crossover. That could change a lot in the bearish momentum. Okay, meaning like bulls could start to take over. However, if we get a negative rejection like that, it means like we will get a strong dump. Okay, so something to keep in mind. If the MACD gives us another negative crossover like that, it means the next move to the downside will be very impulsive. Okay, will be very impulsive, right? But if we cross bullish, right, bang, we will just have to start looking for higher prices over the next like a few days or even like a weeks, right? Satoshi calling once again. Hold on guys, 1 second. All right, so now let's go ahead and dive into the lower degree, right? So when we take a look at BTC on the lower degree, we got multiple, you know, we could make a very strong argument like BTC could be topping out even right here at 42.2, right? And we talk about it during our previous live stream. If you guys recall what we said the move right here, it is a plausible pattern because you guys most of the time can recognize these double tops and double bottom, right? So right here now we're retesting the double tops, double bottom. So we got to break out above like a 42.6 to invalidate the potential resistance or / rejection at 42.2, right? If not, we could be getting the move to the downside for a triple bottom, and that's going to be on a 6-hour basis because we just don't know how the 6-hour time frame will be constructed, right? Because if we get a triple bottom right here, we can even retest the top and get a triple top right there. That's still possible. So, and it doesn't, it won't affect the monthly, quarterly, and all that good stuff because it is just going to be some sideways correction, right? So need to take out 42.6 on the low degree, and you could be looking for a retest of 45.3 on the low degree. All right, on the 45.3 right here. Right, so let's see how it goes. Everything looks good right now. I don't see a negative crossover on our MACD, so let's see if we're going to get a negative crossover on our MACD over the next like a few days and so on. Okay, but as long as MACD is pointing up, you don't want to be you don't want to be too early. Okay, you don't want to be shorting too early or selling too early. Okay, just wait for the MACD to cross negative, and all the moving averages again they are pushing to the upside. So the momentum on the 6-hour, it is up. Okay, the momentum on the 6-hour, it is still up till we get a negative crossover on our MACD. Even on the daily basis, we got the bullish crossover right here, right? So just be cautious until we get another at least 6-hour negative crossover. All right, so the 6-hour up to the daily time frame, or even up to the 3D time frame, they all pointing up. Okay, they're all pointing up, and the 5D just crossed bullish. Okay, 5D also just crossed bullish, but we're still below the 21 EMA. Okay, on the 5D, so no need to worry too much regarding the 5D as of now, right? But the momentum is pretty hot from 6-hour right up to the daily time frame. So if you're bearish, just be cautious. On the lower degree, if you're looking for like weekly, monthly, and all that good stuff, you know what to look for. 44, 45, 46k area going to be your ideal resistance to be looking for some selling pressure, right? All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the hourly. So hourly doesn't look bad at all. So MACD just crossed bullish again, right? No sign of a strong divergence. You got one right here. Okay, another one right there, not another one, but that's the same one. It could basically give you a double top, double bottom right here. Okay, or even a triple top or a push higher. Okay, but on the lower degree, once again, even down to the hourly basis, bulls, they still in control. Okay, they're still in control. Bears, the only thing bears got right now is like the total setup right here, and we got to get a breakout in this range to the downside for the double top, double bottom to play out. Okay, okay, give me guys 1 second. Oh, Sam, we have a problem with the streaming. I don't know what it is. Let me see. me see. Okay, I think the resolution is all right. So let me know if the streaming is good, because Cannibal Wealth is saying he's having problem with the streaming. Looks good. Okay, so it looks good. All right, so let's go. I think it is something else than Cannibal Wealth. So I think we're done with BTC. Okay, we talked about BTC on a quarterly basis all the way down to the to the 1 hour basis. And once again, just to resume it, right, the quarterly time frame, it is still in favor of the bears. Even down to the monthly, bears, they're still in control. If you want to take a look at it in terms of like these lower highs, right? So bears, they're still in control. If you want to take a look at it in volume, you could make an argument like bears could be in control right here if the the volume spikes to the upside and price action dips to the downside. However, on a 3D basis, bulls, they're still in control. MACD, it is still positive right here. So bears cannot do anything right now until basically they dump the price and MACD on the 3D basis flips negative. So just be cautious. If you're bullish, right, you know exactly what to do. If you're bearish, you know exactly what to do. All right, so now let's go ahead and dive into Ethereum. Okay, all right. Yeah, we're getting a nice weekend pump. So Ether, all right. So Ether, at the same time on a 3D basis, Ether wants to close above the 3D21. If you guys recall, back in December, exactly the first week of December, the reason why we were anticipating Ether to dump was like we were saying, okay, Ether on a 3D basis, we were negative. Price action, is struggling to stay above the 21 EMA. We're most likely going to be dumping all the way down, even down to our monthly 21 EMA. And if you take a look at it, Ether dump exactly down to the monthly 21 EMA. And I showed you guys, and I told you after we dump down to our monthly 21 EMA, it is time to accumulate some Ether after this drop, because we're going to be pushing back up, right? So now if we go back to the 3D21, that's going to be our first candle, okay, closing cleanly above the 3D21 EMA. So we got 2 hours to go. So let's see, after we close above the 3D21, if bulls can push higher up to the next resistance, right, it is going to be actually 3150, right, going to be a strong resistance. And if we break above 3150, we got the 3400 resistance, okay, and that's going to be roughly just below the 0.618. If Ether wants to go to a 0.618, that's going to be nearly 3550 to 3600 range, right? But let's see if bulls can manage to push higher in terms of like a directional trend, because we cannot ignore the directional trend. As long as the 3D MACD is pointing up, you can't just ignore like Ether pushing higher up to a 0.618. We just have to be very, very cautious, okay? So let's take a look at Ether on a monthly basis. So the monthly basis, just like BTC, right, you can see like Ether did not break out below the monthly 21 EMA. So we talk about the monthly 21 EMA twice, all right? the first dump right here, we talk about it, right? The second dump from like 3150, right? We also talk about the target range all the way down to a 2380, 2280, right? And we hit that target exactly. But what I was looking for recently, so the monthly, it is still supporting the price. What I was looking for recently was like Ether to basically continue the downtrend right here, right? From the 2550, 2550 range all the way down to like a 22. But as you can see, it pushes to the upside. Okay, so we need to take out, once again, we got to take out the 3150 before even we talk about the range right there. All right, so in terms of wave analysis, it is quite confusing because Ether, it is still in a double top double bottom, just like BTC right there. Okay, so we could still get the move to the downside if bears show up, right? But as of now, just be cautious, since like it broke out above 2866. Just have to be very, very cautious in terms of reversal until we get a cleaner directional downtrend, right? The chart is pretty similar to the BTC chart, right? You got the move like that. Okay, it looks ugly, but you can still call it a a correction. Okay, right there. Okay, so got to take out 3150 before we talk about the 35, 34 range. So if you recall, our last entry for Ether was exactly at 3140 on average, right? All the way down to a 2380. So let's see if we get back to a 3150 on average right there. You know, we could see if bears can show up, right, with the MACD crossing negative and all that good stuff. But as of now, no sign of divergence or anything, okay, on the lower degree. So just have to let it do the work, unless you want to just stay with the trend and not try to be bearish with it. All right, so let's take a look at Ether on the weekly. So weekly 21 EMA all the way up to 3112, which is basically what we just said regarding the resistance at 3150, right? So 3150, 2850, it is a very important key area to always keep an eye on regarding Ether, as long as we in this range. Okay, as long as we're in this range, you got to keep an eye on 3150 to 2850 range. It is a pivot point. We talked about it back in August, September, right? We talked about it back in even December, right, when Ether was all the way up like somewhere around like a 42, 44. What we said was like 3150, right, 2850 going to be our pivot point before the next potential drop all the way down to the weekly 100 EMA. So got to take out the 3150. It doesn't matter which time frame you're looking at. It seems like the 2850, 3150, it is the pivot point. Okay, so hey, what's up, DZPS4? Thanks a lot for tuning in. PS4 Gamer, thanks a lot for tuning in. Tariq is saying, Sen, we're going to the moon. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we can still go to the moon because we're still above the monthly 21 EMA. So if you guys recall, I've been saying it, I said it multiple times, even back in December. I said if we get down to our monthly 21 EMA / weekly 100 EMA, don't be extremely bearish. Just analyze it as it goes, right? Because you just don't know how long BTC is going to stay above the just about the monthly 21 EMA. It can stay in that range for like few weeks or even like a month. You just don't know, right? And I give you guys a couple of examples, right? A perfect example is right here back in 2018, right? Another one, 2019. If we go back and take a look at it in terms of sideways correction, also back in 2014, you can see like we retested it right here, right, and moved sideways above it. You could call it sideways right now, right? So it really doesn't matter, right? But back then you would be calling it like a big pump, 100% move, right? So moved sideways for nearly 6 months again, right? 6 months right here. You got 5-6 months right there, and you got another 4 to 5 months right there. Okay, and as of now we only got 3 months. Okay, could we be moving sideways if we do not break out above all-time high? Then basically move sideways for like 3 to 5 months before capitulating, or move sideways 3 to 5 months before going to the moon, right? That's possible. Okay, that's possible. Okay, I know BTC is above 42 right now, so no one wants to talk about like some low prices, but keep in mind, guys, we're still moving sideways if you want to take a look at it that way, and at the same time we're still making lower highs. So something to basically keep in mind, and do not forget about your monthly 50 MA. It is right now at 25k, and your monthly of 50 MA, it is right around like 21k. Okay, so keep that in mind. That way you're not going to be overly bullish or overly bearish, and basically be and miss the next like a big pump or big dump, right? All right, so let me just go ahead and share a couple of coins I'm bullish on. All right, so the first one was Near. So Near, I was bullish on Near, when Near was right there. Okay, right here. Okay, just about like a 10.5, 10.6, 10.5, 10.8 range. Okay, so, and the reason for that, most of you guys know I like I like double tops, right? Double tops, double bottoms, right? So if you take a look at it right here, we pushed it upside, right, and got the double top, double bottom correction right here. So what I said was like, if we, based on the 6 hour up to the daily time frame, everything was looking good. Okay, MACD cross bullish after the double top, double bottom on the 6 hour, even up to the daily time frame, MACD was still bullish right here. So it gave me a strong confidence level, like most likely bulls going to show up and push the price to the upside, right? So the next resistance to look for, right, over the next like a few days and so on, going to be the 13.5 if we break out above the $12 range. So $12 is going to be the immediate resistance, right? So it is a premium premium setup. We talked about it already when it was like 10.5, 10.6 and all that good stuff, right? So right now it is above like 11.35, so it can definitely take out the $12 range, and after that we could be looking for the 13.5, right? So, and don't want to break out below the 965, right? So 965, breaking out below 965 will basically print a bearish pattern, and the bullish setup will be invalidated. Okay, because bears right now, you got to know what they're looking for. Bears are looking for the W. They're going to be like, oh, that's a W. Okay, but remember, a W always starts with what? A double top, double bottom. So if we get if we get a rejection right here, and dump below the 9.5, then yes, okay, bear is going to be in control, and we could be looking for a retest of like a 7.5, right? So, but as of now, the dominant trend, it is a bull trend in the short to medium term, right? A breakout above $12 could take us to a $13.5, $14 range, right? A dump below the 965, 966 range, or even down to a 955, could basically send us to the crypto abyss all the way down to a 7.5, right? So so something to keep in mind. I like the trade setup, so it is playing out right now, right? So if you already took the trade, you might just want to put your stop loss at entry just in case it does reverse. But as of now, it looks pretty good, right? It is a premium setup. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the next setup. It is going to be Filecoin. So I haven't talked about Filecoin for a while, but last year this time we talked about Filecoin when File was like at $24, and we were looking 20 to 24, and we were looking for $200, right? And we hit that target. But now on the lower degree, let's go ahead and take a look at a File in terms of trade setup. Okay, in terms of trade setup, it doesn't matter if you want to take a look at it on the daily or 6-hour time frame, because they, you know, from the 6-hour up to the daily time frame, they all the time frame are looking good as of now. Okay, so you can select the 6-hour time frame. We got a bullish MAC. The price action is above the 21 EMA. We did have a nice you know, ending diagonal, a nice bullish divergence, if you want to call it ending or bullish divergence, it doesn't matter, right? So and now we're pushing up to you know, nearly 13, I mean not 13 but 18.3, right? So got to take out the 6-hour 100 EMA. It is somewhere around like 18.7, and we got a, you know, temporary resistance somewhere around like a 19, 18, 19, 20 range. Okay, and after that we could be looking for the 22. Okay, I don't think it is going to be a nice easy ride all the way up to 22 if and only if we get a quick breakout. But other than that, it could be a slow trend up to 22. So stop loss once again 16.18, 16.28 depending on your entry, right? We don't want to break out below the triple bottom. It could be a week, we don't know, but just don't want to take any risk below the 16 as low as 16.18, right? And could be looking for the a 20, you know, nearly 25% breakout and only 7% stop loss. So that's nearly over, you know, 3 to 1, right? Right, so next one going to be the let's take a look at it on the daily. So if we take a look at it on the daily MAC, they just crossed bullish, right? It just crossed bullish, but we're not yet above the daily 21. So let's see if over the next like 24 to 48 hours we can get a candle close above the daily 21. That's why I'm saying we just have to put us, you know, make sure to have a stop loss in case, okay, price action decides to give us a, you know, another double bottom right here, or another retest of the 50% pullback, right, before pushing high. Okay, so it could be a slow and boring trend, right, since like we below the daily 21. But once we break out above the daily 21, that could be that could, you know, basically seal the deal, and we could be looking for 22 or even up to a 25, 27 area. And why 25, 27? You guys recall the you know, first week of February highs, right? Most alt got rejected right there, and some of these alt, they already retesting the February highs, right? So that's why I'm thinking like we could be retesting like the February highs. But let's just see if 22 can be taken out, or if you know, 16, 18 going to be triggered, right? But as of now, you know, it is it looks pretty good, right? So the next one going to be BAL USDT. BAL USDT, it is also it has a similar setup, a potential 36% move, and you know, we don't want to basically, you know, drop below 1035, right, which is nearly 12.5% from our entry right here. Okay, but it just pushed to the upside and got rejected by the daily 50. I don't like the daily 50, I don't use it much, but we could be pushing up to a 13.5 resistance. Okay, that's going to be our mid-range resistance, just in case we create the flat correction right here. I'm saying it like most of these alt, they're not respecting the flat correction right here. Some of them they just pump to the February highs, right? Like like Ether, I think, yeah, Ether Classic just pump above the March 9th resistance and could be pushing up to the mid-February resistance, right? But most of these alt, they already broke out above the March highs, right? So so let's say it is a possible 36% breakout and a 10 to a 12% stop loss, right? If market decides to reverse, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at BAT. So I think BAT last night, after the daily open, it started a short-term pump because it was bullish against BTC. So but bears showed up. So that's the same double top, double bottom I was just showing you on Balancer, right? BAL-USDT. As you can see right here, BAT even broke out to the upside. The first week of February resistance, it is going to be up to 0.99, right? So BAT is right now kind of aggressive. The possible stop loss is now too deep. Okay, the best entry was somewhere around like 70 cents, and try to put a stop loss on like a 60 cents right here, and try to take it to 97. But if and only if you're looking for a short-term trade, if you're looking for a higher time frame trade, BAT, let's take a look at it. It looks very, very good also on the higher time frame because it follows BTC a lot. Let's take a look at it right here. Okay. So on the higher time frame, it looks really, really, really good in terms of a double top, double bottom, right? And the average support for BAT, I talked about it before. Okay, I said a 65 to a 75 range, right? So it did not break out below the 55, hit like a 65, wick down to a 55 range. So it follows BTC. It is still not yet below the monthly 21, but if we break out below the monthly 21, you could be looking for the next support to be on average 40 to 44 cents. Okay, so got to take out the 120 to 125 on the higher time frame, right? I mean, I would even say like a lower degree, right? Hey, what's up, Benjamin? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Benjamin is back to the house, man. Let's go and pump it. Good. I mean, people are saying BTC is pumping, but guys, one thing you got to realize is like the entire Q1, we've been between 46, right, and 30 what, 33. What's the average price? 40K. Okay, 40K. Okay, 39 and a half, 40K is the average price for the last 12-13 weeks. Okay, so you can call it a pump, but it is just a sideways correction. We're only going to get a pump once we break out above 46, okay, which is the high end range, the high end of the range. Okay, so ADA just pump above the daily 21. Let's go back, take a look at ADA. So that's the type of move you can, you don't want to basically get like with this alt. Okay, as you can see, ADA after the fake out pump back in August, right? I don't know, I think ADA had some good news, right? And it pumped to like a $3, and we talked about ADA pumping to a $3, right? But if you recall, after that, we haven't been talking about like ADA that much, okay? And it's been down for nearly, let's see, like 6 months, okay, 7 months, okay, it's been down straight, okay, every single month, and it is still not even below, I mean above the daily 21. Okay, the lower degree does look good. We got a nice bull divergence on a daily basis, and we just broke out above the daily 21 right here. Okay, and I was expecting the short-term pump right here last night after we retested the daily 21, and BTC was looking to pump, and many alt were looking to pump. So I was like, ADA most likely going to be breaking out above the daily 21. So, and at the same time, once again, you got your divergence right here. It is not a very it is not like a reversal divergence, right? But it is something to rely on, right? Right here. Okay, nice divergence, right? But let's basically get a 3D reversal at least before we talk about like some macro reversal. Okay, if you take a look at it on a 3D basis, we're not anywhere close to the histogram. We want to get above the histogram or close to it before we talk about like a reversal, and at the same time we want to get above the 21 EMA, okay, on the 3D. But on the daily, you could get some nice pump, 10 to even 20% or even 30%, depending on the volatility. You could get some nice, you know, 10 to 30%. Okay, that's actually 40% if we're going to retest the, you know, daily 100 EMA, right? And we did have a similar move right here, right? 40%. So you're going to get these 40-50% moves, and you know, newbie is going to be falling for it. But if you zoom out and you take a look at the macro view, you're going to be like, nothing is bullish. You know, yes, I'm going to take those 50% move at any given times, right? But you won't be expecting like $10, $20 and all that good stuff, right? Let's go ahead and talk about crypto. Moonboy, I want to talk about Tezos. So Tezos is basically following the market sentiment. You know, based on the high time frame, we below our monthly 21 EMA. So we got to regain control of our monthly 21 EMA. So if we want to take a look at it on a daily basis, it looks pretty similar to ADA, just broke out above the daily 21. Once again, our February resistance going to start somewhere around 4.5. Okay, if we get a pump to the upside, a slight bull divergence, right? If you want to ignore the wick right there, you could call it a, you know, you could call it a a divergence, right? So short-term resistance for Tezos right there, 3.5 short-term, and the next resistance going to be at 4.5 to $5, depending on volatility, okay, which is going to be our February highs. Okay, so February highs are pretty important. Even back in 2020, if you guys recall, if you've been watching us long enough, you must recall our Valentine's dump in 2020, right? And 2021 also we got a Valentine's dump, and 2022 we also got a Valentine's dump, right? So let's see if some of these alt can take out their February highs before we talk about like alt season, right? Because if we go back to the monthly basis, you can see like if we go back to the monthly basis, you can see that we got to take out what February highs right there, okay, for most of these alt, okay, and we're going to create what a high, our first high on our monthly basis. That's going to be pretty impressive, right, if we can do that for alt. But one thing to just remember, you know, if you want to basically if you just want to summarize the live stream, one thing you got to remember is like in the short term, okay, the 6 hour up to the 3D basis, you know, bulls, they pushing higher, right? However, on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, bears, they still waiting for resistances, okay? So you got to be very, very cautious. Take advantage of the short-term moves, right? 6 hour up to the 3D, but you don't want to be on the macro level. You don't want to be too bullish too soon, okay? Because you could basically you know, you could basically get wrecked if bears show up on the macro level, right? So that's one of the most important to keep in mind. The most important thing. Yeah, so that's a near setup. So let's see if we can take out the 11.8, 11.9, or even $12, and possibly next week we could take out the or at least retest like a, you know, 13.1, 13.5 range, okay, give or take, depending on how bullish market's going to be. Let's go ahead and take a look at Zilliker. Actually, VeChain, not Zilliker, VeChain. So VeChain also it does have a nice setup. I was basically looking at a VeChain and Balancer, right? But I decided to go with the Balancer setup. As the VeChain stop loss wasn't that bad, but it wasn't like the absolute low, right? But if you take a look at some other altar, like you know, we just talked about Balancer, right? You know, they stop loss were, you know, their stop loss were pretty deep, okay? Meaning like they you know, market will need to reverse to hit your stop loss. But with VeChain, like the market can basically still do something like that. So I just didn't want to basically mess with it. But it does look good. If we push to the upside and you're looking at you know, you're holding VeChain, you could be looking for the February resistance, possibly to get hit if we take out like 56, 57, 61. Could be looking to you could be looking for 67 later on, okay? But if you're still looking to take it, right, you might just want to reduce your stop loss somewhere around like 45.5, right? 45.5, and still look for the 61 and so on, right? You're still going to get a nice you know, risk to reward ratio, okay? 20% to 10%, give or take. Yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, Nibra? I don't know if you asked about VET or not, but I just talked about VET. You were asking about VET, or you were just saying VET? Nibra White in a house. Moonboy White in a house. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Gala. I think someone asked about looks. Let me look for looks. Okay, so looks. Okay, so that's your first weekly breakout. It is a pretty new coin, right? 85% down from all-time high. So you got your support right here. So I'm not sure if that's the absolute bottom or if you're going to retest it. So versus BTC. So but if we do retest it, you might just look for support at 24, let's say 2400, right? Right now it is at 4,000. So you're looking for a potential 50% discount if we retest the lows on a weekly basis. However, on a daily basis, you could you could still stay with the trend, right, until we break out below the daily 21. Okay, so next resistance on the daily, somewhere around like a 40 support right here, right? That's your previous support. That's 4,800 to a 5,000 area. 4,800, right, to 5,000. That's going to be your daily resistance. Okay, MACD does look good, right, and all that good stuff, but it is a pretty new coin. So sometimes you get these beautiful MACDs, right, like a pushing higher, and all the moon boy is going to be okay, bull divergence, and sucker gonna give you a double top, double bottom, and still give you some lower lows. Okay, and MACD is still going to be doing something like that, right? But keep an eye on it, right? If we retest the 2400 range, you want to give it a shot. If we break out below like 2000, you got to let it go. Got to let it go until you you know, we at least hit like a 1000 sat, something like that. But if you take out you know, 5,000, you're looking good. Okay, you could start to use your Fibonacci's and all that good stuff. Yeah. All right. Oh, Cannibal Wealth. Let's go ahead and take a look at silver for Mr. Wealth. So I just don't trade silver on the daily and all that good stuff, right? But we can take a look at it on the higher time frame. Okay, so I like the higher time frame monthly setup, right? I think that's a that's the macro setup for silver. Like you could look at it, first thing first, you could look at it in terms of like patterns, you know, cup and handle right there. You got your nice cup, you could get the handle up to $40, right? Right, but that's a monthly basis, not like oh, silver is down to $20, or silver is, you know, up like to 25. I'm looking for you know, I'm talking about like a directional move, right? And if we break out above the neckline right here, right, yeah, 1-to-1 extension of the move from the bottom, right, to the neckline. If you want to do, you know, 1-to-1 extension, that's going to be pretty massive. Okay, like almost $300, but that could take years to get there. But if we want to take like 61% of the move, you could be looking for nearly 140. Okay, you could be looking for 140, but once again, got to take out the $40 to $50 range, which I think it won't be a big problem. If you take a look at it on a quarterly basis, it looks really good. It looks really good, and the reason why I'm saying it looks really good is like we just don't have any chance to create what, a divergence. Okay, even if we create a divergence like that, it means like price action will have to break out above the all-time high for us to get a divergence. You see what I'm saying? And if we break out above the resistance area right here based on the quarterly basis, it means like it has to go ballistic. Okay, it has to go ballistic, right? So silver on a macro view, it looks really good, you know. And this setup, I got it, I mean, you know, I got this setup like since last year. I just don't talk about silver that much, but it worth like holding, right? And if we take a look at it on a monthly basis, we could get a double top, double bottom again right here, right? We got this correction. We just have to take out $30 and we will be done, and try to retest the 36 and you know, $40 range after that. So the worst case scenario is like we triple tap right here at $30. Okay, that's going to be the worst case scenario, and we're just going to retest the $14-15 support then. So a breakout above 31, that could give us a strong bull trend on the macro view. Okay, in the next like a few months or even years. Okay. All right. And gold, it is I will update gold. Just need to find time to talk about gold. So gold, I mean, I talked about gold in my premium group right back in January, and what we were saying was like we need to take out a 1908 to a 1914. Back then I was saying like on a monthly basis, right? We did take out 1908 on a monthly. We closed exactly 1908, right? The month of February, right? But what I want to see is like I want us to close above 1908 on a quarterly basis, right? If we do, that's going to give us a stronger, bullish momentum, right, for a possible move all the way up to a 3000. And 3000, it is just a if we take a look at it in terms of 120 extension right here, 70% move, you can see like 120 extension of that move right here to the upside going to take us all the way up to 3000, right? So, and in terms of Fibonacci, you could also look at it in terms of wave analysis. You could be looking for 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 right here, and 5. Okay, if we get rejection, if we get a rejection right here, we could be looking for another flat, okay, before we're pushing higher, right? So quarterly basis, as you can see, MACD is looking pretty juicy. No sign of divergence yet. In order to get a divergence, MACD has to cross negative, right? So bear is going to be calling for a divergence. We talked about it regarding BTC, right? Remember back in I think back in August, July, something like August, September, right? We talked about the divergence on BTC on a 3D basis, right? And BTC managed to push all the way up to a new all-time high after that, right? But it looks good on the higher time frame, so let's see what we're gonna get in 2022 or even up to 2024, 2025. So let's take a look at LRC. LRC, nice breakout. Just talked about it yesterday in our premium, right? Right here. $25% pump today. It is a very volatile coin. Yeah, so that's exactly what I was looking for LRC, right? A push up to a 90, 95 to a 99. First resistance took out the first resistance 82, 85. So next resistance 95 to a 99. And if we take out 95 to 99, you can see like where we headed up to where up to our February resistance. So most of these alt guys, if they hit the February resistance, right, you just have to be very cautious just in case we get the macro flat correction right here. Okay, that's still going to be a bearish pattern, possibly down to like a 36. So if you're looking for if you are looking to buy LRC, at least wait until we get a clear direction above like 140, right? And you could start to ride it all the way up to all-time high somewhere around here, okay, $3. Other than that, the ideal spot to look for next, right, in the next like a few months, I don't think we will get there that easy, right, all the way down to 36. But ideally, if you see it at 36, it is going to be a good range to reaccumulate for the next wave up. So keep an eye on it over the next like a few months for either a retest of the 36 or a push all the way up to you know, 3.5 to a $4 range. But you're gonna have to enter at much higher prices, right? But still, you know, it is still going to be a nice move, right? Like 150% move, right? Or if you want to enter right now, you just have to suck it up with a 23% stop loss, right? Below the daily candle open. So somebody just talked about Gala, I think Nibra. So Gala, did not retest yet the January lows, right? Yeah. So Gala, if we take out the 21 cents support right here, we could be looking for the 15 cents as your next support. If we take out the 27, we got our February highs, right around like a 37 up to 40 cents. Okay, but it is in mid range. I saw it last night, but I just didn't like it because it you know, it did not retest the January lows, like somewhere around like 17 cents. Most alt, they retested their January lows before the current pump. But like, you know, you see what I'm saying? Like if you take a look at Zilliqa, okay, Zilliqa, you know, it is a nice setup because it retested its January low and even dumped and created a new low in February. Okay, so it makes it easy to find a stop loss, right? If you're short-term trading, right? I mean, like short to medium term trading, right? And look for the February highs up to you know, 57 cents and put a stop loss somewhere around like a 37, right? Okay, so or even push it down. Okay, it is still going to be pretty big, but you know, it is still going to be a 30% possible move. Oh, okay. I was I see what you're saying, Nibra. I already had the setup, so just didn't take it. So just decided to suck it up with near balancer. Yeah, we talk about Filecoin too, near balance and Filecoin. All right, guys, Satoshi is calling. He says I got to stop the live stream or he's gonna dump the market. So let me just call it a day before he dumps the market, okay? Because I'm in some long positions. All right. All right, guys, be safe out there. Be cautious, like especially you know, for the weekly open, right? Because it could be pretty volatile. You know, Monday, Tuesday. So be cautious once we get the weekly open. Just put a stop loss if you're short-term trading. If you're a hodler, you don't care about stop loss, right? You're looking for a market to dump for you to add to your positions, right? So all right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Be safe out there, right? Thanks a lot for watching.